back up going. All right, great. Yesterday I lost audio right as I started. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again. Sequoia update. Bet. All right. All right. Here we go, Brian. This is it. In 3, 2, 1.
I got a question for y'all. You women on here is always hitting me up and all this. Nobody wants to meet, but you want to send money this or that, or you want to hook up, but nobody will prove you're real. And if you're not going to prove you're real, I ain't doing shit.
Big deal. I was overrun by a batch of bimbos.
The morning stream. I think that'll do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to TMS. This is the morning stream for Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson, and that's the sitting Brian Ibbott.
That's right. The sitting, just until we elect a new Brian Ibbott, I'm the sitting Brian Ibbott.
Yeah, he's the incumbent Brian Ibbott. And,
Recumbent.
Yeah,
I'm the recumbent Brian Ibbott.
So we were talking pre-show about this, but I think you had quite a workout this morning. Sounds like they pounded on you.
I did. I overdid it, and it's... There's a little bit, and they know this, there's a little bit of competitive nature that I have with Orange Theory. And I shouldn't. I'm a month into this thing, or a month and a half into this thing. And I know I'm not the level of the 35-year-old soccer moms around me. But I want to pick up bigger weights than they do. And I want to, do up another percent on the treadmill than they're doing, and even the dudes. There's dudes there too, and I want to be up with them, and I really shouldn't. No, like they always say, for our age range, it's repetitions that matter more than the amounts, right? Correct. Yeah.
So so instead of doing 50s and 10 reps, you do 25-pound weights and do 30 or whatever.
Oh, and do more reps. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. More reps. Less weight.
More reps. Yeah. I like the same number of reps and less weight.
That's how about that? Let's not increase anything. Let's just take one down. I like it.
Yeah, let's just take the weights down. And they don't tell me, they don't say, all right, everybody pick up your 25-pound weights and do da-da-da. It's like, all right, pick up the weights you're comfortable with. And so I could pick up the weights that I'm comfortable with, and I really should, and not pick up the weights that are, more than Ellen next to me or Sharon. No, come on, they're all named Ashley. Who am I kidding?
They're all Ashley.
I can look up at the screen and see that they're all Ashleys.
A couple of Tiffany's, couple of Brittany's, maybe I don't know. There might be a Taylor in there.
That's probably a Taylor. Yeah.
Some Swifty person. You never know. Well, anyway, it's good to have you here, and whether you're standing or on your butt, it doesn't matter. Your hosts are here. We're prepared to give you a show, and we're going to start with my mother-in-law. All right.
Oh, good. Start with the mother-in-law.
We went to dinner at Kim's brother's house, and it's always a good time over there. And it was just me and Kim. All the kids had previous plans, so it's just her and I. And then, a few other relatives, including Kim's parents, showed up. And while we were there, we got to see the Comet. I'll talk about that in a second. The one that's showing up every day for 7 more days.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. In some places in this state, I'm sure other states too, but in St. George, you can see it in the middle of the day. It's just out there.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot what it's called, though. Do you have the name there?
Suchinshan? Suchinshan?
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's discovered by somebody with a name that's hard to say. But anyway, so we're over there having a good time. Food's good. We had chili, perfect early fall business, that kind of stuff. And hanging out, having a good time. And always love seeing Richard and Audra and their kids. So that's all good. Kim's mom shows up. And what she usually does pretty quickly is either scold somebody or educate them or something about the kind of food they're eating. So it's usually
of course, yeah.
Hey, you shouldn't eat, you shouldn't drink that soda. That's trouble. You should drink water. Or you shouldn't do that. That's bad. She's always got some, remember
it's
this is
establishing her dominance fairly early on, right?
Yeah. And and the way she does it is nutritional things that she thinks she knows. Most of it's pseudoscience she read in some book, but still, she thinks she has all the answers, right? That's fine.
Of course.
It's fine. We love her. It's just, and she's getting old and she's stuck in her ways, and that's fine. So anyway, she's telling people what kind of, that's the wrong kind of bread. You need to have this and that and the other thing. And we're all just kind of rolling our eyes. That's fine. Whatever. It's nice to see you, Mima. And we're going along with our life. And then as the night goes on, I notice out of the corner of my little eye, I see Mother Frances over there digging through a giant plastic pumpkin head full of candy, full of it, right? And this is something she's always telling us not to eat. Don't eat candy.
Yeah,
it's poison. Pop, 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 pop. And I don't really drink or eat the sugar anyway, but I see this out of my corner of my eye, and I just kind of scooch over there, and she's like digging. She's like pulling stuff out and putting it to the side and grabbing this, and I go, Mima, what's this about? And she jerks. I surprised her. And she goes, well, I'm just looking for the ones that have the nuts. The nuts are good for you. Those are good for you. And I went, let me see what you have. So she's got a handful of M&M peanut M&Ms, which are, I'm sorry, you cannot make the argument that they're suddenly healthy for you because there's a nut in the middle of it.
Right, exactly, yes. Right.
And so and she's got that, and then she's got a couple of like Hershey's bars that have nothing in them. They're not the almond ones or whatever. They're just plain Hershey bars.
Regular.
Yeah.
Plain old
I
Hershey's,
said, well, what are you getting out of those? It's so healthy. And she's like, and slaps me on the hand and just kind of walks away.
Yeah, exactly. That's you caught her in a.
Yeah.
Oh, nicely done.
Now, if I was her, well, whatever. I can't put myself in someone else's place, but just ease off. You don't need to tell everybody else what to do when you can't even do it yourself. Just relax. It's fine. I don't judge you. You go ahead and have your peanut M&Ms. It's fine.
Exactly. But I'm going to judge you, or I'm going to shame you if you rip on everybody else for what they're eating. I see you over there digging into the candy. Heck yeah.
Yeah, super annoying.
You've opened yourself up.
Yeah, she opened herself up wide, and I had no recourse other than to ridicule her slightly for my position.
What kind of peanuts are in Skittles?
Exactly.
Mama Frances?
So have you guys had decent cloud non-cover so you can see the thing at night?
We have not yet. We've had some clouds in the west for the last. I forgot on Sunday, or didn't know about it on Sunday, and last night the clouds were in the west, so didn't get to look at it yesterday. We're going to look tonight. But the problem with where you and I are, or at least where I'm at, you're in a valley, so you've got mountains all around you.
We do.
So when the sun sets in the west, it's setting on a mountain range.
Yeah,
that's what we have as well, and that means that the optimal time to look at this thing is when the sun is kind of going to be right there in the same place.
Yeah, in the western sky. You're right. You're absolutely right. So what we ended up doing was, we used some. Her brother just bought some really expensive, fancy binoculars. He's thinking about getting like a full-on telescope. Yeah. He'll probably get into all that, but anyway, we whipped that out, and even with the sun setting and creating a bunch of ambient light, which you're right has kind of made it more difficult, it was really visible for us for a hot second because there was tons of cloud cover for us, and it just moved just enough for us to see it. So I think in the next 7 days or so, it's still there and will be higher each day or each night.
Right.
And so you should you should get a shot at it, everybody. Go out there and look. It's pretty cool. And I think this is one of those you only see it every 80 years type comets or something.
Cool. Yeah.
It's neat.
Yeah, I don't know how when our next Halley's. I think we've probably had our last Halley's, right? Or is there going to be another Halley's presumably in our?
It's a good question. Let's see.
Let's see. Our next Halley's should be mid 2061.
Let's see.
So 40 years. Yeah, we'll
could be around
for
that.
We'll
be around. Yeah. I hope so. If I don't eat those peanut M&Ms, I'll be there.
Oh, Halley's Comet. Thank you.
I always get it confused. We called it Haley's growing up.
We did too.
So what was going on there? Who was it? Who was supposed to be correcting us on our scientific knowledge back then? We didn't, because nobody was doing it. We didn't get told.
What I do know is Free Hotel Room. Bob Peterson got 2 words into a tweet, into a threads to us, and then we figured it out, and then he got out of it.
Oh, good.
Thank the Lord. So pronunciation guide on Wikipedia says Comet Halley is usually pronounced Halley rhyming with valley, or sometimes Haley rhyming with daily. As to the surname, Halley, Colin Ronan, one of Edmund Halley's biographers, preferred Hawley rhyming with Crawley.
Oh, Crawley.
Yeah.
We should just call it Crawley's Comet. That's cool.
Yeah, but the two, if it was one L, Haley would make sense, but it is 2 L's. So, it's Halley, which if you replace that H with a V, looks like Valley.
Why couldn't it ever be somebody named Jim? like Jim's Comet. Nobody's going to go Jime or Jeem.
Comet Jones. Comet Jones is making its 80-year appearance.
Yeah.
Let's go check out Comet Jones.
And no one will say Yonez or Johnny's.
Somebody will.
I
hear it's pronounced Hones.
Comet Hones. I'd stay up to get pictures of Comet Hones. That's amazing.
Comet Hones.
Also, all right, when's the last time you used an abacus, or have you ever?
I've never used it to compute something, but I've used it as a decoration piece. I had one behind me for a while. I don't think I still have it in my...
Was it a large one? Like, I like a big jumbo one. Those are cool.
It was about the size of two CDs, two CD cases next to each other.
Oh.
That's how big. So not one of the little tiny ones, but one of the bigger ones.
Decent
I learned,
size.
I think during the Savannah meetup that at Amy's Montessori school, they taught them all how to use Abacaii.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think she may have. So this came up on the show. I don't remember how long ago. And I think she may have been one of the ones talking to.
That's when she mentioned it. Yes. That
might be it. Yeah. So we got a call about it and why. And I think both you and I were saying it was never like compulsory that we had to learn how to use the thing.
Oh, not even a little bit. Like if we had one in class, it was used for that very same purpose, which was a decorative piece that somebody had to dust every once in a while.
Yeah. And you'd go clink, clink, clink once in a while and you were done. That was all you did.
Exactly.
So
we made fun noises. It was basically our Stevie Nicks impression. We could play the tambourine with the abacus.
That's right. So someone called about it, and we'll play the call now. Here you go.
Hello, morning stream. This is Thomas coming to you from New Hampshire. Just saying hey. And you on Monday were talking about the abacus briefly. I had one, and the whole time I was in high school, that's what I used. My teacher taught me to use it. I got to be pretty good. They have what they call secrets for adding different things, and I got to be pretty good. I was not allowed to use a calculator until my senior year, and probably not until even the end of it. And even then, it was just to check my work. I got to do everything on the abacus still, but I could use a calculator to check my work afterwards. And I don't know where that thing went to. I got out of high school, went to college, and I probably around my parents' house somewhere. I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it for 30-odd years now. But they were quite fun, and they're not too hard to use once you get the hang of it. So anyway, just thought you'd like to know.
All right.
See you guys later.
Thanks, man. Hey, here's a question for you. So you heard it very briefly in the call, but at the end of he's called before. At the end of all his calls, I usually edit it out, but his phone starts talking to him and says things like, end of line, push the thing, do the stuff.
Oh,
it's
really?
Some weird like thing. And I'm just curious because this may be like a visually impaired feature or something.
Yeah.
I want him to just fill me in on that because every time I get one, I mean to ask and then I forget. So
anyway. No kidding. I'd be curious about that. Yeah. Very interesting. And the whole thing about Abacaii, is it Abacaii? I mean, I assume, right? Because the
study
it ends
of
with the
Abacaii.
US. You don't say abacuses.
I would assume so. That sounds better for plural and usage and things like that.
Abacaii.
Yeah.
The whole thing about those is fascinating because can you do all mathematic functions on those? Can you do, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on those things? Yeah, I was trying to make an abacab joke earlier, Matu, but I could not figure out a way to do it. I can play the abacab. That's about the only one I know how to use.
It says here consists of two-dimensional array. In its earliest designs, beads could be loose. Okay, so each rod typically represents one digit of a multi-digit number laid out using a positional numeral system, such as base 10. Let's see. Though some cultures use different numeral bases, but they can still use the abacus. Roman and East Asian abacuses. Oh, they don't say Abacaii.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Becca says yes in square roots. Icor says it's not a Latin word, so you don't do the Abacaii, so it'd just be abacuses.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It uses a system resembling biquinary coded decimal. I'd have to learn what that is. Let's see. So it looks like it could do pretty close to everything you'd need. I mean, obviously, we do some pretty complex stuff now that I don't think a single abacus would be capable of with one person.
You're not using it as a graphing calculator or something
yeah,
like that.
Exactly.
Also, I know it doesn't, but it would be great if you hold it one way to do addition, and then you flip it upside down to do subtraction. Would be great.
That would be great.
But I know that's not the case.
No, I love that idea, though. I love that.
Yeah.
Chat, here's a picture of an old Danish one. From what year?
Does it have cheese in the middle?
No, it doesn't. Although the white ones look a little like cheese. They might be. They got multicolored dots. But apparently this is like multiple cultures used some form of abacus without knowing each other. Like it wasn't stuff that was shared because they were in completely different unexplored parts of the world. But somehow people came to using this sort of beaded math system. That's
cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fascinating because it's what, like 9 columns of 5 beads, and then another separate 9 columns at the top of 2 beads, and that's enough. That's apparently all you need. It's amazing.
Need. There's a 20 bead thing called
That's the TI graphing calculator version.
What's this called? This is called a 20 bead Reckon Wreck.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know where that came from. Somewhere. But anyway, there you go. We all learned something today.
Oh, this one has 10 columns. Interesting. Wow.
Oh, you got to see.
Yeah, and just looking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just looking at the diagram on Wikipedia of like, all right, each row is like 1, 3, 5, 2, 9, 6, 4, 7, 0. Oh, it's showing the numbers. I thought those were the order of the numbers you read. So it's like 1, 3, 5, 2. Gosh. It's hard to figure out, like, when you read the top of the abacus. Oh, is that the...
So this is something from the Incas they used.
That's wild. Just dangly strings.
Yeah, some kind of rope with knots and where the knots were and when you tied them or whatever. It was probably a really slow version of this, but it was called an Incan quipu.
Huh.
So if someone's like, oh, man, I don't know what the tip is at this place. Pull out your quipu. We'll figure it out. We'll give the 20% tip.
That looks like a dream catcher for someone like me who can never remember their dreams.
Yeah. It is kind of, that's basically my dreams too. Look at those things.
It's like, blah.
Yeah, it's a big barf. Well, anyway.
That's really cool. That is really, really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe for TMS Vegas, Amy will have an abacus session and teach us all how to use an abacus. I could 3D print a pretty cool abacus and actually have the beads 3D printed already on the rods.
Yeah, like those dinosaur things that articulate.
Yeah, those articulated dinosaurs, like basically just have a tiny little bit of filament to hold it on the thing, but it'd be very easy to make.
It would be. You could have fun, like painting it to look like an ancient abacus or something, you know?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
One more thing here. This is good to do. We're going to just remind people how TMS Fridays are going to work, because you're sitting at home going, TMS Friday, tell me more. Well, I'll tell you more if you're a patron. If you're not a patron, you don't get this thing. It's completely out of your reach. But if you are a patron...
We can tell them even if they're not a patron. They just can't hear it.
Yeah, you just can't hear it. And we'll tell you because we want you to be one. So for even the lowest entry fee, which is $1 still on our stupidly cheap Patreon, you can get in on this and be a part of it as soon as now. Like you could sign up today and you'll have access to it Friday. But it will be happening this week. Play dates are still a thing. They will happen once a month. And so we'll have a schedule that is basically 3 on, 1 off for the play date. Play dates will still be public and available to everyone, although patrons get access to the game first when we do those. But this show will be purely streamed. It will be streamed live on Discord. You'll have to have the Patreon role to get in. Many of you who came to couch parties already know how that works. So it'll continue to work like that. And we'll do the live show here. Oh, good news, Brian.
Good news, everyone.
We can play. Oh, you know what? That won't work, though, because I do some post on the song. I'd have to do it anyway. So never mind. I was going to say we could play the song live because we're on Discord. But
I was thinking we could, but
you know what? We can. I just have to remember. We absolutely can. I just have to do a weird edit thing in the end, and it's not a big deal.
Oh, so. All right. We can always figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
If it is a pain in the butt.
But I think that'd be fun. You guys never get to hear songs live. Now you get to hear them live, and
yeah.
And then we'll still be putting it all up in post, and you'll get it both on the Patreon and the video there as well. Patreon supports video uploads now, so all the archives are always there, audio as well, the whole schmear.
That's right.
So we got games planned, all kinds of contests. We got fun stuff. You got to come be part of this, all right? So sign up.
I've got a trivia thing for Scott this week that I think Christopher Walken would approve of it.
Oh.
That's what I'm going to say about that.
All right. Am I going to dance through a hotel lobby?
You're gonna. It's all about how you manage to carry a stopwatch. You got to get that uncomfortable hunk of metal.
Well, in times of war, Brian, I'll do just about anything for that watch.
Oh, good. So. Excellent. Well, then we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah. I'll put it up my butt. Anyway, if the reference wasn't clear.
That'll be on Friday. And then the next Friday, the 25th, is Playdate.
Yeah, we're going.
Last Friday of the month.
That's right. Straight to Playdate. So don't not be there. Sign up today, patreon.com/themorningstream. Or no, TMS. What am I saying? /TMS. And this Friday, be there. It'll be great. And for those who don't get it, man, you're going to miss out. It's going to be fun. Basically, it's TMS PM, but we're doing it in the morning.
That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
And with some changes to the format. So, you know what to expect.
Exactly. And iCorp, my plan is to do the next Guess the Connection will be right after Friday's TMS Friday. So that was redundant. But basically after the TMS on Friday, I'll have a little bit of a 10-15 minute reset, and then I'll do Guess the Connection. And where it ends up as a permanent location is I'm still deciding that, but
right.
It might be Tuesday afternoons, it might be I don't know, but Friday morning still seems to work.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all goes, but yes, you'll still have your connections to guess, and you will now have a Friday edition of the podcast. So
sweet.
Tune in. One final note from Gene from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
There are no stops till there, is my understanding.
No sleeps.
Oh, no sleeps. That's right. Geez, Scott, get your rap right.
You're basically just like you're on the subway. No stops till Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's your last chance to get off before Brooklyn.
If you need to pee, too late. Here's what he says. Scott and Brian, I heard you talking about the Return to Oz movie and having to watch it once. You guys, this is what you watched while you were on the trip.
Yeah, we did.
Well, one watch isn't so bad. I had a friend that worked for Disney in the 80s, and his department's job was to watch every reel of a film looking for damage when they leave theaters. He watched RTO, or Return to Oz.
Oh, Return to Oz. I read that as Rio, like the Pixar, or I guess that was a DreamWorks movie, right? Rio.
Oh yeah.
RTO. Yeah, now that makes sense.
But that would have been way out of the 80s. That was like 2000.
Way out of the 80s. Yeah.
Anyway,
blame it on Rio, maybe.
Blame it on Rio or Retito.
Watch every single reel of that movie over and over again.
Says he watched this movie for a month straight. He also told me that no one ever lasted more than a year at that job. Gene from Brooklyn. Yeah. A lot of turnover in a company where you're forced to watch crap.
Oh my
nonstop.
God. Watching Return to Oz just over and over and over, because, it's a 9-to-5 job, but presumably you're doing this for 8 hours. That's like four watch throughs of Return to Oz.
Mm-hmm. And the whole time you have to pay attention to visuals for damage, and you have to pay attention to audio for damage. So it's not like you can just mute it and do something else. You have to keep your eye on that damn thing and your ear on that damn thing.
I would have just saved all of humanity and said, nope, this one's damaged. Nope, this one's damaged. Nope, this one's damaged.
These are all bad. And just take a little, I don't know, a butter knife and just mess it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Hey, listen, I would Fairuza balk at having to do that job.
Yeah, yes, you would. All right. Nicely done.
Appropriate use of bulk because it's someone's name.
Yep.
It's a pun.
That's right. She will never be Bach.
Balked at.
Yeah.
Right.
Fairuza Bach.
Fairuza Bach.
Bach. All right. Just saw that episode. All right, let's do the following, which is a bit of news. We haven't done news in a while, so let's do it. Real quick, just for fun, the name of that clip, this news clip, I call it, I don't know why I name things the way I do. Some things are like, here's a new, this one's like
my butt.
News my butt. Yeah, I have the name in it. Like here's the Boston logo sound or the Genesis sound or whatever. This one's called News_Dingle D.
Dingle D.
Yep. I don't know what I was thinking. That's just what I did. Anyway, Brian, today's news is brought to you by who?
8-Bit Adventures. They are streaming Stardew Valley, and we have proof. Want to know how you can see it? Well, you can watch it at 8-Bit Adventures on both Twitch and YouTube. That is the number 8, followed by the word bit, followed by the word adventures, over there on both Twitch and YouTube.
Nice. All right. Let's talk about this story here. We got a pet who was lost for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So 30 years. Imagine your cat. Anara's lost for 30 years, imagine.
Yeah, well, unless there's some real magic or a time machine happening.
Oh, yeah, cats don't live that long.
Yeah, they don't live that long.
That's a good point. It's a bad comparison. Well, anyway, they found it alive in the owner's attic 30 years later. As sad as it can be to see a sign of a missing pet hanging in the door window or on a telephone pole, it is incredibly heartwarming to learn that a fur baby has been reunited with its family. Oftentimes, the reunions happen days after the pet went missing, but occasionally it can be weeks or even years. However, one beloved animal has all of those reunions to beat. That pet was found... Yeah, go ahead.
I think we can't say fur baby. There's no fur babies that live, like no furry, warm-blooded pets that live past 30.
I wonder if any... their use of furry is lame.
It's poor use of fur.
Yeah, but I wonder if there's any fuzz on the bottom of a turtle or something. And they thought, well, we'll just let it hang.
I'm hoping somebody proves me wrong. Like, nope, there's a certain breed of gerbil that can live to 40 years or something like that.
Something like that.
No.
Let's see. They found this pet 30 years later after it went missing. Are they going to tell us what the pet is?
No, they are in the third paragraph.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah,
see,
I heart.
Yeah, they're bad. Okay, it is a tortoise. That's what I thought.
It is a tortoise.
I haven't read this for a couple days because we keep pushing it. It may seem impossible for any animal to live so long under those conditions, but it's something the family pet could do because it's a tortoise named Manuela. Consuela. No. Mr. Superman.
Read the Manuela.
Manuela. When he first disappeared, her family just figured she got out while they were having electrical work done to their house in Rio de Janeiro. The family. Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. The United States.
I don't want to talk about politics, but did you see his weird stand there for 39 minutes and play music thing he did yesterday? Did you see that by chance?
Is that real? Did he really? Is this a real thing?
Like YMCA and all this other stuff. But it was supposed to be a town hall Q&A. They stopped taking questions because somebody fainted. And then when they were about to restart it all, he just said, let's just do music. And they played music while he just swayed on stage.
So he didn't even do his ear floss.
Not even that. It was more like just kind of bopping slowly to it. I think one of them was like November Rain from freaking Guns N' Roses.
I don't understand how the Village People, which has been, they are a pillar in the gay community have been.
Oh, yeah.
How they're not sending him cease and desist letters.
Well, who's left? Do they got is the Indian around? Who we got from that group? The construction guy.
Scott, the day after Indigenous peoples.
Oh yeah,
on,
shoot,
Scott.
that's bad timing. But is the police guy around? Is he around?
Yeah, I think a couple of them are still alive. The construction worker and the policeman, I think.
Good. We need the public, the public utility and the law enforcement. That's good.
Yeah. They need names they really do need names like the Spice Girls. It needs to be like Construction Spice and Indigenous Spice.
I would love that. Indigenous Spice.
Leather Spice, because that's not really a profession just to be just to wear leather.
I love that. Well, anyway, they got the turtle back. So
good. Thank goodness.
30 years later. Sadly, the family's patriarch had passed away right around the time the thing went missing, so they'll never have the reunion. But that turtle will probably outlive them all.
What's he living? I guess he's living on bugs and mice or something. I mean, they're not.
I don't know what you do up there. That's the other thing.
Turtles aren't.
They don't get into it.
Yeah,
as far as I know, they can't eat like a mouse or a rat or a.
Yeah, so it's just got to be.
Like bugs and stuff.
Man.
Like, how do you get water? Enough water up there?
Yeah.
I got questions now. iHeart.com.
I have a lot of one of the secret members of the family hated that turtle, was still going up there and feeding it just so he didn't have to clean up after it or something.
Yeah, something about this is fishy. I can't figure out what
crickets.
it is.
Oh, they do eat crickets. Yeah, so they do eat bugs. That's right, but just not like a.
They need a water source though, right? Don't they need something?
Yeah.
And so maybe the. Oh, I don't know how houses work down there.
He consisted on nothing but a box of old, one-of-a-kind photographs.
Fantastic.
Of the family.
Nice. The patriarchs stuff they kept.
Wedding photos.
Also, that's a long time to not clean out your attic, you know?
Yeah.
30
really.
years. Oof. I don't want to go up there.
Yeesh.
Because those poop, too, by the way, and pee everywhere, so...
Oh, they do, yeah. Everything poops.
So you'd have to...
Everything poops. Sometimes.
I wonder if he got those buildups on its shell. You know how they get, if they're not fed right, their nutrition is wrong?
Like, those...
Get all spiky like...
right.
Like Bowser.
Like one of the Cooper brothers.
Yeah. They're like the Koopa kids.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Las Vegas. Hey, let's talk about Las Vegas. Now, this already happened, but when I put it in
already
here...
happened.
Yeah, when I put it in here, it hadn't quite yet. But we'll talk about it for a second. Los Angeles. Las Vegas is blowing a kiss, or has blown a kiss, goodbye, literally, to the Tropicana with a flashy casino implosion. I will admit to you, Brian, I was looking forward to seeing that video. And by the time I was at least 6 minutes into it, I was annoyed by it, and I stopped watching because it was so stupid. Just count it down and collapse the thing. You don't need a drone show and all this other shit.
The old drone show and everything. And I don't know if you saw the video that I saw, but it was some news, some Fox affiliate in Vegas had a view from behind like 3 people, and there was the person in the middle who had their arms around the person on the left and the person on the right. Yeah. And this person was so excited, like every couple seconds he's like patting them on the back. Oh, it's coming now. Oh, it's gonna be it. Oh, look at the drones. Oh, and he's like back and forth patting and squeezing them, and like
that would drive me crazy.
It was. I gotta find that video because it's unbelievable. Fox 5 Las Vegas, Amish Overlord. Do you know the one? Did you see the same video?
Share it. Find that clip, Amish Overlord. We'd like to see it.
Yeah,
I never saw that. I've only seen like the kind of aerial view and the wide shots, and it just took so long and so much freaking pomp and circumstance. I'm like, I know we get it. It's Vegas. It's also a really old hotel. It's kind of the last of its kind in a weird way of an era. Like all that stuff. I get it, but you just do it. Just hit the. I assume it's a box with a handle on it, and they go shunk like that. I'm sure that's how it works.
I wish it was. I don't think it is anymore. I don't think they do that. I think it's just in the comics, in the movies.
Yeah, cartoons, I guess. What did I just saw something where they had one. What was it? Oh, that Dark Winds series. My wife's finally watching, and they have an old timey one in a mine somewhere. It's great. Nice. Anyway, the thing is gone. Let's see. It only took 22 seconds once they finally did it. They're talking about in the future tense here, but it's happened. Here's a quote from, let's see who says this. This is from historian Jeff Schumacher. He's the vice president of exhibits and programs at the Mob Museum. We like that place. He says, quote, "What Las Vegas has done in classic Las Vegas style, they've turned many of these implosions into spectacles," says Jeff. He spells his name Geoff.
Well, that's how my dad spells it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that. Did you see the SNL thing where he made fun of that?
Yes, Nate Bargatze. That whole they've done that a couple times. That Nate Bargatze sketch, and
they're really funny.
I love it. It is always so funny. Nope, we're gonna call it a dozen.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Will the other numbers have words like that? Nope. Just 12.
Nope. I like where he said, so the one with Jeff was, we will spell some names 2 different ways, like Jeff with a J. Well, how would the other be spelled? The stupid way with a G, or whatever he said. It was really good.
So right there in our Discord is the video.
All right, let's put it up. Let's pull it up for the people. Put it up for the peeps.
Let's watch this guy in the middle with the baseball cap tenderize his 2 friends while he waits for the trop to.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Implode.
Let me get a little audio going. Yeah, he keeps patting. Why is he so Oh yeah, why is he so stoked? It's just like, where are they? Can you tell where they are?
I'm trying to figure that out. So let's see. There's the Tropicana.
They're up kind of high.
Yeah. What is that? That's the. What's the OVO, the Owl Casino? So they are on the parking garage at MGM Grand, it looks like.
Okay. Is this maybe his friend's choking and he's just occasionally
needs some help dislodging
Yeah, there he goes again. He's doing it. Oh, he's doing it. Okay, no. Okay, shaking him. No. See, this is how this goes. It goes on like this for like...
It does. It's forever, yeah.
Oh, don't jiggle her like that. That's not cool. Oh, there it goes. It goes down finally. It is fun watching that shit implode. You know what's crazy about it, though?
What's that?
It's just crazy. I don't know. I know this is going to sound dumb. Oh, they pull the camera back. They're on some kind of outdoor canopy thing.
Oh, yeah.
What's crazy about these videos to me, or about implosions to me, is just how weird it is that maybe a month ago, I don't know how long they've had it empty, but however long ago, at least last year when we were there are people walking around up in there, living and sleeping in there, taking a dump, eating food.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was open. It was open when we were there in Vegas.
Squatters and stuff? Yeah.
No, I mean just like people. Like
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like people still staying in those.
Yeah, like it hasn't been that long since you could just buy a room or rent a room at the thing. I wouldn't, because that's kind of a dump, but whatever.
Yeah, I did my walkthrough of the Mirage. My third walkthrough, I think, of the Mirage last time we were there, because it's all right, now we're really going to start the process of transitioning it to the Hard Rock. No, now we're really going to start it. Oh, yeah, now we're totally going to stop the volcano. And so I got to see the volcano. I got to do all that stuff on that last visit. And it's, the Mirage had some things, right? You had the Secret Garden, Siegfried and Roy's deal. You had for a while, you had the dolphin habitat. You had, what were the white tigers, of course.
White tigers, yeah. You
had... the volcano in the front. You had just a really cool vibe. I was trying to think of like, oh yeah, the big draw at the Tropicana? Its proximity to the stairs and the bridges that take you to
everything else. Yeah.
Everything else. Right?
Yeah.
It was like,
did they they had a restaurant in there that was a little bit like Casa Bonita, didn't they? I remember eating somewhere that was like a jungle theme, and that had like animatronic birds.
Talking about Rainforest Cafe, right?
Maybe.
That was an MGM Grand.
Well,
or maybe they had one. Maybe they had something like that in Tropicana. But
I remember they had something with I thought they
like
were
macaws, like parrots and stuff.
Yeah, but they were they were animatronic, like Chuck E. Cheese style.
Yeah, I think that's Rainforest Cafe.
Speaking of Chuck E. Cheese style, I don't know how much you watched that freaking robo-taxi event from Tesla.
None. Just the
it.
clips that I've seen aired on it and stuff.
I watched it. It was fine, whatever. Like, most of it's vaporware. Some of it may come to market. I don't know. But these robots, they're trying to be all impressive with these robots. And they were serving drinks and doing other shit. But then people would talk to one and go, "So, hey, Mr. Robot, how long you been working here or something?" And then the robot would reply, "Oh, hey, man, what's your name?" In that kind of voice. And I went, hold on a minute. Something's fishy here. Turns out, and they've all admitted it now, they were all remotely. They're just puppets. They were just Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, they weren't AI.
They were bullshit. They were a big bowl of heaping bullshit.
They weren't even Chuck E. Cheese level. Well, Chuck E. Cheese, you hit a button and they just do their thing until.
Yeah, they were remotely controlled. So more
until
like
the middle of the night when they kill the janitor or whatever.
So it's more like remote. It's like remote puppetry is what it is. That's what it was.
Oh well, that's still impressive. But
it's impressive in the sense that
they can serve drinks and walk around and do that. But yeah,
you need a guy to do it, and also the walking.
You need a guy to do it.
Yeah, the walking ones weren't even those. These were ones that were kind of trapped, and then they had like a little room where they were all moving around, dancing like slowly like this, and I'm like, this was lame. Impressive when the Chuck E. Cheese did it.
Yeah, no, the one that we talked with at the Sphere that had the that actually looked at and talked to people in the crowd and looked at what they were wearing and made comments and jokes and stuff like that. That was freaking impressive, because that was not some dude off in a sound booth somewhere with a video camera. Hey, you in the Stratosphere T-shirt.
Yeah, if I were the Tesla robot guys, I would at least hired somebody in that other room to sound robot-y. Instead, it was like, "Hey man, what's going on? You guys look at you want a screwdriver? I can make one of those, man." It's like, you're not a robot. You're just a dude. Your name is Chet.
I'm sure the SIRI lady and the ALEXA lady are available. Cortana lady's available, and just get them to reprise their roles as the as the AI voices in those things.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Hi, can I refresh your old fashioned? Do you need me to muddle another cherry in your drink?
Oh no. Sex button pushed. I will give you a handy behind the dumpster.
Meet me behind the curtains. Bring your USB charger, please.
I'm low on power. Beep, beep.
Do you have any thumb drives that I could
Yeah. The humans are dead. Anyway, so that's a thing. That's it for today. That's our news.
Right. Okay.
We're gonna come around the bend though and see our old pal Dan on the other side. So get your tabletop ready, everybody. Dan will be here, and that'll be coming right up.
One of my favorite Tuesdays. One of my 4 favorite Tuesdays is the one that Dan shows up for.
Of the four we have, it is one of our favorites for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So watch for that. But we can't do that without a song, Brian. So what'd you bring for the middle?
Scott, I'm sorry. I brought you Heartworms. Surprise. I've brought you Heartworms and nothing I can do about it.
Great.
Wow, we're already to the point in the year when I announced that an album that's coming out comes out in February of 2025. Yeah, February 7th of 2025, courtesy of Speedy Wonderground. You're going to be able to get this whole album, which is called Glutton for Punishment. It is the debut album from this band called Heartworms, which for me sits somewhere between Wet Leg, and you'll know why based on their talking style in the song, and kind of the heavier Butch Vig produced Garbage sound. So imagine if Shirley Manson just decided she's just going to talk during the song. Wow. You're kind of close to what you're going to hear with Heartworms.
These are two things I like. So you're combining. This is a Voltron I can get behind. I like it.
Well, you can listen to it all day long on the chaise longue, all day long, chaise longue, all day long. This is a song called Warplane. It is by Heartworms, just came out, brand new single from them. Here are Heartworms.
You didn't have to cut me off. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody.
Concubines? In a schoolhouse?
And we're back. Brian, who was that one more time?
Sure. That is formidable South London auteur Heartworms. Has her brand new, highly anticipated debut album, Glutton for Punishment, which comes out next year, beginning of February. But this is the first single. You can hear it right now. It is called Warplane. That was Heartworms.
Nice. Check it out, you guys. It's good stuff.
Go take one of those pills for Heartworms.
Yeah, take a pill for your heartworm. Hey, look at this.
Here's a tangent for you. Be careful, may cause drowsiness.
I can confirm it may. It's Dan the Tabletop Man, joining us after a month of not seeing him, which really sucks. We don't like it, Dan.
Far too long. Too long.
Yeah.
Greetings, programs. Yeah, I missed you guys too. It's always hard. We're all busy and between traveling and for who the hell knows what half the time. I was just in New York for a wedding and my charity event's coming up, so I'm everywhere and nowhere, so I apologize for the length of the absence.
Well, it's all right. Look, you had so wait, this wedding, is this like a childhood? I know you're from Long Island or somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
So it was one of those deals?
Well, it was one of my cousins, one of my first cousins. She was getting married again. So it's interesting. We're all of a certain age, so like almost all my cousins. So we're all from divorced, and then you have basically half the cousins still on their first, and the other half had a mulligan before they found their true love. So this was one who took a mulligan and then found her true love, and
just a little practice run.
Sure,
that's right.
Sure. Sometimes practice runs last a long time. They can last 20 years, and then you make just one day you wake up and go, well, shit, this isn't working out. Bye.
Yep. I mean, we're all pretty lucky. I mean, statistically speaking, we are really a diamond in the rough because the three of us have found our soulmates pretty easily
on the first
early
try.
on.
Yeah. No do-overs between the three of us. We are bucking the trend. I think we're triple handling the upward trend of the stat. I think the stat has raised.
We're raising. We're raising the average.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about going back to Long Island. Now, Scott, you are born, bred, and raised in Salt Lake, right?
I was bred here, then born here, then raised here. Yes, that's the order.
But Brian, so you were not originally from where you're living now, right?
Oh, I'm absolutely originally from Denver.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you? Okay, I didn't realize. Yeah. I was. Anyway, the thing about me going back to Long Island is that I can remember why the hell I don't ever want to go back to Long Island. If I could just transplant everybody if I could just transplant everybody that I love up there down here, my life would probably be perfect because as much as I loved growing up there and things, there's just too damn many people in this world, especially on a little island. Like Long Island's pretty big, but my God, traffic sucks. People suck. We're at a certain age. I mean, I'll be 50 next year. I just hate everybody. I just like my little group of people. I just don't want to put up with because everybody's just in too. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what movie it was or anything. Like everybody's just in too much of a damn hurry. Like you just can't live.
And you used to be one of those people, and now you're not. And I'm feeling this exact thing. I used to be part of that more part of that rat race, right? And now I'm so much less interested in it. I'm just so like done. I think it is dudes of a certain age. We hit a stage and we just go, yeah. Like my buddy Darren the other night, he's like, what did he say? It was talking about something, but it was basically this idea of I used to be really tolerant of everybody around me all the time. And now I'm like, I don't have time for all of you. Like I just need to just
I don't have time for all of you.
I just want to live the rest of my life in peace for hell's sakes and get out of this traffic, get out of the rat race and and I completely commiserated.
When I say I hate everybody, that's
I know what you mean.
Temper that. Like, you mean like I love you guys. I like my friends and family. It's just, when people always talk about, let's go make new friends or invite. Like, listen, I'll play games with anybody in the world, but I think I'm full of friends. Like, I think I got enough. I think I'm
you got all you did. Yeah, I don't have room. Part of the problem is we all three of us have this online life that means we have relationships that extend beyond our neighborhood and beyond our cities and things like that. And as a result, that dance card is effing full, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's as high as it gets. And so when people see me and go, you don't remember my name? I'm like, dude, I promise, I swear, if there weren't 100 billion of you, I would remember your name, but I can't.
Right.
We're doing the best we can.
My God. Every year at the charity event, I feel so bad. So I run, Gamers for Cures. I do the charity event every year. And we have about 50 people that are marathoners. And I always feel really bad, like when the day comes, when people are checking in and I've got a list of everybody and I recognize everybody's name. But when people come up in front of me, I'm like, who are you? Like, I feel so bad. You just, sometimes, and I don't know if it's I don't want to say a medical thing. I don't know if it's just my brain doesn't process remembering names and faces like it used to. Like, I can kind of run into a friend or you just run into somebody randomly back in New York and I'm like, holy crap, I know that guy. That's so-and-so. And then like somebody that I saw like less than a year ago, I'll be like, what's your name again? And you feel bad. You should know these people. Yeah. But
I stand behind my theory. We all have a straw and there's only so many marbles that you can fit in there.
It applies to people. The people are marbles too, folks.
Yep. You put a new marble in, one pops out the back end. That's just the rule.
Who am I giving up? Who am I letting go?
Yeah.
I wish that applied to song lyrics though. I feel like my brain power, I have so much garbage stored in my brain. Like, and it's all song lyrics.
I do this with movie years and movie dates and actors. Yeah, it's weird that I you know what, Brian, it'd be cool if we could determine which marbles stayed and which ones left. Right?
Yes. Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah. Right. Like, do you really need the lyrics?
Power like Thanos, though, right? Like, you can't decide what 50% are going. It's like, ooh, luck of the draw.
Yeah, but you could go, okay, there's these 3 ABBA songs I don't really need to know. Let's just push those out.
Right.
And that's.
Let's get rid of
think about long-term memory.
Take Super Trooper out immediately. Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, that's okay. That's my fault. No, think of long-term memory. So I could probably pick out like something for each one of you guys. Like, there's probably a song from like the 70s that Brian legit hasn't heard in 35 years, but if it came on, he would know every single word. Yeah. Or if we threw Scott in front of a random arcade game, you would know the pattern to beat it.
You would know, right? You'd know the. Exactly.
The Pac-Man. It's just weird how that is.
Yeah, you put me in front.
Funny though.
Yeah.
I was looking at Pac-Man machine this weekend. I'm like, oh yeah, no, you go left, down, right, down, and then around that bottom, and then up the side, and then I totally remember the Pac-Man pattern.
Well, that's the problem is we were playing it when our neurons were being formed, when our brains were being pathwayed, and so some of that stuff is like early. It's like they ran in to get the good seats. You know what I mean? It's like, fresh brain. Let's sit up in front. We're up front. And then now we're like, I need to learn how to get Python to do this for these 4 things. And my brain's like, where were you 30 years ago? What are you doing in here?
Stupid. The brain's like, you better write this down so you can read it again in 10 minutes right after you learned it.
I don't even remember pressing play on this training video. How am I supposed to... How am I supposed to retain anything in this?
Well, I'm glad
we're going to do... We're gonna do an arcade game draft on our show when we record the next Geek All Star.
Oh,
So what would you think is what would be your favorite? Now I'm talking like pre 2000 because I haven't played an arcade game in forever, and they're all generally old. So I'm sure the technology is insane now. But if you think to your childhood, like 80s, 90s, what do you think would be your top arcade games of all time?
Joust.
Oh, sweet summer child.
That was a great game, Sweet Summer Child. I loved it. Sequel is not as good, but
yeah. I think if the audience isn't shouting Tempest right now, then I'd be surprised. But yeah, Tempest for me, the greatest arcade game of all time.
Tempest is right up there for me, but I'm going to say Joust, and a close second would probably be. Oh, you know what? I don't have a good second. Joust is my favorite.
Second for me. I played Joust 2 at the video game festival. I'd forgotten so much about that game. Like it came and went like a fart in the wind, but it was like
Joust 2 is weird.
There was you had your typical buzzards, your enemies flying around on buzzards, and then you had like this huge thing. Mm-hmm. I cleared out the whole level, and this huge buzzard was coming around. I had no idea how to get rid of him. I landed on top of him. That didn't do it. He squashed me a couple times. I got him down by the fire with the hand where eggs are occasionally popping out of.
Yeah.
Joust 2, what a piece of crap.
Yeah, 2's not a good game. It's a terrible sequel, and also they went to vertical screen, which is not great. It used to be wide for the 4x3 for the first game.
All the platforms.
Yep.
Yeah.
They put more platforms up higher. That was stupid. That was not the point of that game. And then the only sequel to be worse than that is Dig Dug 2 is the worst sequel of any sequel.
Ooh, that's pretty bad.
Really
and
bad.
Dig Dug was actually what I was thinking might be my second favorite.
I do like Dig Dug a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's too many.
I think my two might be Tron and then Gauntlet. Because that Tron game was amazing.
Tron was good. Brian kicked my ass in Tron in Vegas.
The great thing about Tron is that there's variety. Like you've got 4 different games in one. And not like those games are very robust and have a lot of depth to them, but there's some, at least you've got your 4 very different games.
Yeah. I like discs of Tron because I don't know why I just clombed onto it, but Brian's right. There was like your quarter got you a lot more game in Tron because there was like all these different games, but I was kind of bad at it. Oh, I know what it would be. For me, it's probably Asteroids is my second.
Oh,
yeah. Asteroids just ate my life up for many years. So
I wanted an Asteroids where where you, instead of buttons to push to turn left and right, you had a knob. Why couldn't they make an Asteroids where you turn a knob to change the direction your ship is facing?
They totally could have. Yeah, they could have. I don't know why they didn't do that.
They feel like that was too easy or something, or is it just because they just wanted to be
probably
different?
They didn't have it programmed. It wasn't programmable at that time, and
yeah, who knows? I mean, it certainly. I got used to
you can do now.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I got used to the 2 buttons because we had one in the house, so of course I got used to it. But but I have nothing but fond feelings. Anyway, sorry, we went too long on how many arcade games.
Sorry.
We like.
Where are we with Dragon's Lair? Like, do we think that's like that would be the one? It was the first one I can remember that was like 2 quarters.
Yeah,
and
50
then it
cents.
would be like if you didn't do the quick time fast enough, it's like, oh yeah, you just put 2 quarters in and you're done.
Yeah, it was one of those games where you barely could call it a game because it was more of a interactive movie, and the interaction was low. It was like go left or right, go up or down. You had to memorize.
It's a one button game, right? It's like there's not a lot to it, and it's a quarter eater. It's innovative, but I wouldn't. It did not have a lot of replay value for me.
No, a lot of people love it because of how novel it was. But the better game was Space Ace, the follow-up. Space Ace had a lot more. So good. They had more choice, so you could do different things and not just die for no reason. It was less about memorization, but even then, it was still a bunch of that. So, yeah, the Laserdisc fad. It's a weird one because when my dad was in arcades, or when he was running arcades, the Laserdisc games broke every time. They never worked well. Oh, wow. They would break down all the time. Maintenance on those was terrible. That's the reason they were 50 cents or more, was because they just were impossible to maintain. You'd go to arcades, and the only machine that wasn't working was always the Dragon's Lair machine. So I think there are a lot of people out there who loved that. I love it for different reasons, though. I love, what's his name who made it?
Don Bluth?
Don Bluth. I loved his movies.
Yep.
He's a local dude. He grew up in Provo, so we were all like super proud of that. And then he left Disney. He was like a rebel and went and made all his movies without Disney, and that was a big deal. And then he made these games. It was like, yeah, dude, greatest cartoonist / animator of all time. That was mostly why that game was good, and it was less about the game itself, So anyway.
Yeah, I think that was more of the fun one to watch. Like if you had somebody that was a whale that had like all the quarters in the world, and you're like a 10-year-old kid who's broke, you just sit there and watch somebody who was really good at it, and it was real fun to watch.
Yeah, and then you got to see you saw a movie, exactly. And the girl was kind of hot and barely dressed, and we were all horny. So, so that was the thing. The little cartoon lady you saved at the end. Anyway, so Dan, I have a feeling you're on a theme here. There's a theme going with these arcade.
Yeah,
questions.
and it's funny. So a lot of this is unintentional, but somewhat intentional. So another great cabinet from back in the day is that the lingo?
Sure,
Scott,
you could say cabinet. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah,
sure.
cabinet, console, or a cocktail.
Yeah, whatever.
Cameo. No, what's the?
Oh, yeah.
What's the?
Sit down
cocktail.
ones.
You had the
sit down ones were cocktail.
Narrower, like Cameo was that one?
Is that the ones they put on the bar, or were they stand up still?
They still were stand up, but they were a lot narrower and lighter.
Yeah, they had a name, but I don't remember. Was it Cameo?
Yeah,
I can't remember. We only ever had stand up and cocktails, and then a couple of my dad built himself, but they were still sort of in those categories.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So
TMNT.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles was one of another great 4-player one that kind of, I think 4 players, when they started getting into that sort of thing, revolutionized arcade games, but also one of the great IPs of the time. But now I don't like to go too much on Kickstarter. I don't want to show favoritism I usually just like to talk about games that are out, but this is a really good one. This is from Restoration Games. It's up on Kickstarter right now because the Unmatched game is just an amazing kind of one-on-one game when you play Unmatched, battling. And it's also, Scott, you would love this too, because there's also a Steam version. I don't know if you've ever played the Steam version.
Oh, no, I didn't.
It's amazing.
I didn't know that was a thing. I'll check it out.
Oh, you should check it out. Absolutely great, because you can play it solo. It's got a great tutorial to learn the game. And then if you happen to get any of the boxes, because there's a lot of different, and you can basically mix and match all the things in Unmatched. Like you can play Robin Hood fighting Bruce Lee, or, and what they've got now is a co-op version. So a couple years ago, they put a Kickstarter out for Unmatched Adventures, which had basically Mothman and then Martians, where it was basically co-op, and you could put any of the old kind of characters into there, or any of the IP characters into that, along with the ones that came with the game. Now they've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that's up on Kickstarter now, and it's amazing. It's really cool how you're going against Shredder and all the others in the TMNT universe, and you're going to get the 4 turtles obviously with it. But the way these games work with co-op is you can swap in like King Arthur with a couple of turtles, and then throw in Alice in Wonderland, in there, cool. or She-Hulk, because they have some Marvel adventure, Marvel sets, and just play the game. So this is amazing. It's up there now. Brian, I don't know if have you ever played much on Unmatched?
I've never played any Unmatched, and I just popped open Steam just to see if I've gotten a copy gifted or something, but it doesn't look like I have. So I might have to check it out as a digital version first, and then just see about the board game version.
I like these systems that you can. It's sort of IP independent, right? You can just. I suppose that's true of any game if you did it hard enough. But this idea that you can take a basic rule set and then apply a whole different theme to it and still maintain the gameplay integrity, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do it with things like Versus or Villainous or things like that, but it's clever when you're able to create your game.
I think of the Villainous system, if you can use like the Star Wars with the Disney, I think that's kind of made to. It'd probably be a little weird, but and the Versus system is a pretty universal system too. There's also a system out. It's funny that you got that, Brian, because the next game is from a company that does things like that, where it's all IP and it's all interchangeable. Universus, the UVS kind of universal system, their IP license came together with Wise Wizard Games, and now. You guys may have remembered, Scott, this is a perfect game for you. And Brian, you probably played this. So Star Realms.
I'm guessing it's got really easy to understand rules is what you mean. That's what you mean by that.
Yes, that's exactly. 10 second rules, 10-second deck builder rules. The Star Realms also has an app out. And it might even be free. But Star Realms app is amazing. And the system is also there's a game called Epic, which is also a deck builder that's also a similar system. But anyway, they're putting out, with their UVS games, and Wise Wizard is putting out Star Trek Star Realms, which has all kind of the different ships. It's basically just a reskin of Star Realms, but it's amazing because they use the real ships from like Klingon ships.
Star Realms! I own this in like 5 versions of this. I have a Steam version. I have the iOS version. I love Star Realms. Holy shit! I had no idea. Sorry.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I forgot the name. The name wasn't ringing a bell, but it's all skin like Star Trek. I am all in, dude. I will play
So
the
I
shit
mean,
out
you've
of
got
this.
all the ships. They replace all the ships from regular Star Realms with like whether it be Klingon, or they've got the Federation. We've got like the USS Shenandoah's on a card, or the Mekong, the Cochrane. Like they've got all these ships, and again, that may not be cool for people who don't really care, but like for people that love Star Wars, Star Trek, just having a new kind of version of Star Realms with these ships is really cool. I mean, it's something minor, and these games are not all that expensive. I think this one is only about $20 when it is out, because they sent me an early copy, and then I just can't stop playing this. It's awesome. It's really cool to have that universe on there, because they've already have, like last year they came out with a Star Wars, the deck building game, which is very similar to what this kind of is. It's kind of very similar to Star Realms, a little bit different. But regular Star Realms with the Star Trek licenses is really cool. I can't get enough of either one of those licenses.
I hope. So I was doing a quick search. Is Star Realm still a digital thing you can get on various platforms? But I don't see this. They don't have a digital version of this yet.
Not the Star Trek IP.
No.
No, it looks like just the general.
No, that one won't.
Yeah.
They probably won't ever be able to do that. What's the IP? Bug Guy Fitzy will tell you, like, IP law is the weirdest thing. And then when it comes to games, it's nuts, because you can have all the licenses for maybe card games, but you don't really have it for quote unquote board games. That's also a similar, that's a separate things. And then when you may have all the licenses to all, like, what is it? There's the Marvel deck building game, Marvel Legendary.
Oh, Legendary. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Marvel Legendary, and they've got a million sets. There's probably like 25 to 35 sets of Marvel Legendary. It's a great game, but they don't have the license to put that out digitally. So if you look, there's actually a Legendary app that they put out, that Upper Deck put out, but they don't have the licenses to use any of the Marvel characters digitally. So they've got to basically have just generic fantasy when they put it out. And it's a pretty good game anyway, but it's really weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Well, that's unfortunate, because that would be an instant buy for me, but also I think I want the tabletop version. This looks great. I love that game. I played Star Realms like a wild person. My only complaint was the art was just like passable. Like it was not art, but just like the presentation. It wasn't, you could tell this was just like a budget, constrained thing. And whatever.
It's so generic that it's almost AI. I mean, I'm not accusing it of being AI, but you know what I mean? Like, it's that generic
got that feeling
of ship things.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at these cards, my God, it's just so cool to see, the Red Talon, the Bird of Prey and crap like that. I mean, it's just really cool to have those ships out in front of you. And I mean, of course, thematically, you got to kind of shelve, you got to shelve your brain a little bit, the willing suspension of disbelief, because meanwhile you may have a Romulan ship, a Klingon ship, and a Federation ship attacking somebody else, and you're like, well, that's kind of weird, but you got to it's just a game.
Yeah, it's just a game, you guys. Just a game. Remember that. I was trying to buy it or see if it was like on Target or anybody's got it. I can't find it for sale. Is it just not out yet, or is it?
It might. So I knew it's coming out the end of the third, fourth quarter, but I just don't know exactly. I've been trying to find out like what their exact price is and when the exact release date is, but it's got to be any day now, because it's got to be available for the holidays, you would think, because this would be a huge.
You can get it on Amazon for $24.99 2-day.
It is for sale. Okay,
it is for sale on Prime. Only 15 left in stock, so hurry it up.
I might get it. I might get this. I put so much time into that game. I think it was Dan who originally told me about Star Realms. I think we're coming full circle.
Oh yeah,
here.
way back when.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I'll make sure that Santa drops off a couple unmatched sets to your doors for this holiday season.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, you're too nice.
That's too nice, but also we demand it. All right, we demand it. Well, this is great. Go check it out. Read all about it, of course, on Board Game Geek. They have a full write-up on how this thing is, reviewed really well. And the TMNT thing is still happening. Give me the name of that again so people know what to search for on Kickstarter.
It's Unmatched Adventures. It's Unmatched Adventures, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Restoration Games.
There it is. Yep. Get it. We'll
really solid company.
We'll put that link in our Discord as well. You guys can go check that out. And Dan has never led us astray. So check out what he's got selling there.
Well, I don't know about that. There's probably some duds in some of these ones that somewhere somebody's probably like, oh, that game sucked. That you can't recommend it. But I try to bring you only the best that you would like. of course, I always have to have the disclaimer of the Scott games and the Brian games.
Yeah.
I know. I do love that.
Yeah.
And that does come up. That came up a lot during tabletop time in Savannah. Like,
Oh, of
all right,
course
this
it
is a
did.
Scott game. We're going to be. Did I cut out?
No. I'm just laughing at the unrelenting usage of Scott doesn't know how to read rules. It's amazing.
Totally. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's my gold mine. It's totally a Scott game. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Tina's even smaller than Scott. Like Tina checks out if the rules are a full page. Like she needs a rule set that's the size of the top card in the deck.
Well, it's good to have someone with me.
Scott,
Yeah.
in my defense, Scott, you made one of the biggest tabletop meme cartoons ever made as one of your cartoons. Yeah. So I do have some defense for the rules thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I basically poked fun at myself in that comic. So the irony is the fake game he's playing in that comic ended up being the name of an actual card game I made. I ended up producing it was Dungeon Murder on that box.
Oh, did you use Dungeon Murder?
I ended up using it, yeah, from that comic. Hilarious. Yeah, so there's it's a twisted tale, that whole thing, but you're not wrong. Dan, it's always good having you on. Tell people where they can find your stuff and what you maybe have coming up.
Well, I've got coming up, so on 11/9, so it's in a few Saturdays. I believe it's Veterans Day weekend. I believe it's the weekend that it is. So it's 11/9/24 is when Gamers for Cures 11 will be held in Cary, North Carolina. If you would like to help out, you can go to gamersforcures.com where you'll be able to have a link to donate. And it's all, you can print out your tax receipt right there. We're a 501c3 or 3C, whatever it is. We are a tax-free organization, so you can donate. Everything goes to Turner Syndrome Society of the Carolinas and U.S., and you can print everything out right there. One of the biggest things people want is within the next 2 weeks, we will have the wall. It's what we call the wall. Is we have about 90 games that are donated, and you can go to the gamersarmory.com and you can buy dollar raffle tickets, and you can decide which ones. You can basically buy raffle tickets to specific games, and then we put them in there so you know what you want to try to win. And then if you win something, we'll ship it out to you. You got to pay for shipping, but you can win things that are on the wall, some really good rare games. We even have a Frosthaven that Seth LaFair donated, so you can win all sorts of really cool stuff on the wall, and it's always a great fundraiser. We do it every year. It's a lot of fun. If you happen to be somewhat local, or if you want to travel to North Carolina, just go to the website. You can sign up there, or if you want to shoot me an email or shoot me on Twitter a message or anything, you want some more information. Again, we have it's basically an 8 in the morning to 2 a.m. You can be a marathoner. We supply breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A not really great swag bag, and all sorts of giveaways throughout the day.
Damn, look at you guys making it happen. I love it. Go check all that stuff out. Dan, it's always good having you on, man. Have a fantastic month till we see you again.
Take care, boys.
Bye now.
See you.
See you later. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That's it for the show. We're done. That's a Monday.
Wow.
Yep. Sew it up. Pack it
Is
in.
it really?
Sell it. I don't know. Can't sell it. But we do want to thank our patrons for helping us sell it. At least you guys are helping it stay on the air. So thank you for that. And again, look forward to Friday TMS. Happy to do it.
That's right. Coming up in 3 days. Tomorrow we got recommendals. We got the return of Tom.
Yep. Tom Merritt will be here. We'll have, that's right. He was gone last week with the dog neutering.
He was.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see how that went. We'll check the testicles of his
Can't
dog.
neuter a dog unless you start first thing in the morning.
That's right. Later today, let's see, is it noon our time? Or 11 our time?
Oh, it's the other Apple.
No. I'm doing, well, maybe there is one today, but I'm doing it's the Word on the Street podcast is live, and I cannot remember my damn time. Why?
I thought there was some other thing this month where they're just quietly announcing the next iPads or something. I can't remember what it is. Like something's getting refreshed, or maybe not.
Oh, iPad minis. I think they just announced it. iPad minis are getting new gen chip that's in the newest phone, and they can use the pencil, and there was something else with it. Bunch of colors.
That's what it was.
Oh, and the intelligence crap will be on there. So I think that's what it was. Yeah, today, 12 noon, Word on the Street, live, me and Greg and guests talking about their playtest they had yesterday. Pretty exciting.
Nice.
That'll do it for now. Brian, let's play a song and get us the F out.
Okay, this is a little bit of a sadder dedication, but it's going out to our friends who I mentioned earlier, J.K. Grammer and Sarah Grammer. She just goes by Sarah. She doesn't go by. She should go by Sarah Grammer too.
Yeah.
On the thing.
Yeah. Or he should take her last name because she's cooler than him. Take that, J.K.
Oh my gosh, such shade thrown at J.K. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they had to say goodbye to their sweet 13-year-old doggo Hula on Sunday. They say she's been getting worse with her hips and mobility lately. When we came home this morning from the arcade thing, she couldn't get up. We had to half carry her so she could go outside to go to the bathroom. We knew it was time when she wouldn't eat even a treat. She was only a few weeks old when Sarah found her abandoned in a parking lot. I myself was lucky enough to be her doggy daddy for almost 3 years. She was absolutely the sweetest dog you could ever ask for. We're going to miss her terribly. By the way, if this cover doesn't work, whatever cover that Brian could suggest would be great. Thanks so much. Love you guys. I sent Brian a photo over to show just how much of a sweetie she was. And she is totally a sweetie. I'll put that in the link here in just a second. There are specific requests, something we've played a couple times before, but for this, I'll always honor someone's first request. This is the cover of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, the ukulele version by Israel Kamakaviva Ole, the late ukulele performer from Hawaii that does such a great version of this song. Going out to Sarah and J.K. Kramer here for Hulu is Over the Rainbow.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Nobody's innocent.
Well, that's the truth.
I said Hulu, but I meant hula.
Oh, did you say Hulu?
I said this.